I'm Tony Campton, and yesterday, 24th of November 2014, I turned 62. I've been playing with fire since I was 8. So, I'm an artist, metal worker, so I've had a bit of fun. So, that's me, www.tonycampton.com. Now, we're talking about a stove, lounge room stove, standard stove. So my rough scale of heat in that room is a percentage of 10, right? So it's either 0 to 10. I'm not giving you, it doesn't work that way. These things are so different. You can't work on temperatures unless I go to some uni. Your stage 1 standard wood stove is a box. You go to the store, you buy it, you take it home, you drill a hole in the wall, you stick the chimney out the wall or up through the ceiling, you put it on a brick pad with hopefully something behind it so you don't burn the house down, and then you light a fire in it. It takes out the room air to give itself oxygen. Now what you do is you spend that first winter sitting over the top of it trying to work out why you're so bloody cold and it's not working properly. It's using this, it's taking the room air. So therefore every crack, crevice and whatever in the building you're in, or that room that this fire is in, it's sucking in cold air. So it has to be changed. And here's the first change. Okay, so stage 2, take the air for the fire from outside. So what I did, I blocked up the grate at the front here, and then I put a tube on the bottom, cut a hole in the bottom of the stove. This came down at a V and back up, you'll see that in a second. Put a fire in there and it worked. It still only radiated heat, and if you went up near the ceiling or down a bit from the ceiling, yes, it was warm. You can feel, you semi-feel radiated heat at 10 feet, because you look at a fire, you feel warm anyway. But the air from outside meant that none of the air in the room was being used. But again, it's still not totally 100% efficient, because the problem is it's only radiating heat, and then the air that's next to it heats up and rises off, not getting an awful lot of flow. So we go to stage 3. Stage 3, there's the V I was talking about. So all the ash fell down into here. I could pull out the ash, and that's where the fire got all its air. On either side of it, I put up some 2mm thick steel boxes, just 3-sided, and welded them to the stove. Air was taken through 2 downpipes from the outside into here. Now what that did was it took the cold air from outside, it was heating this up, that hot air was rising out and sucking more cold air in. That stove there needed less fuel to do the same job as this one, but this one here actually heated the room up quite well, right? So it was quite pleasant at any point in the room. Now, that house that I was in at the time, the lounge room would have been 4 meters by about 6.5, I think it was, and this fire was in one corner, on a flat wall, not in the corner itself, but on one of the walls. Anyway, so that did it better. Now, where's the fire the hottest? It's at the base of the coals, or at the top of the flame. Now, if you've got a big flame, that means a big flame means a lot of timber. So I changed it. I went and got myself some steam pipe, and I came up through the same thing, but I run the steam pipe through the stove, 4 of them, and made the grill for this. I think there was 3.5-inch steam pipe. I had to buy joint bends and then pipe to fit between them and weld it all together. It cost me an arm and a leg. So what they did was it put these pipes right where the stove was the hottest, right in the bed of all the coals, and the ash fell down between them. The fire had to be smaller. Oh, I never told you. Now, the first one up here, it got to me about 5 out of 10. Standard stove, I'd give it 2 out of 10. This one here, we went to 5 out of 10. This one here was 8 out of 10. Okay, this one here was again 8 out of 10 because it pumped a lot of hot air in. So the fire grew smaller. You had to put a smaller fire in it. Then I was looking at it one night and went, what it needs is a savage change. So we went to savage change, which was stage, sorry about this, I'm not getting rid of the rubbish, stage 5, meet the V8. Okay, what I did with it was this. There's my air inlet. I went down to 2-inch tube gas pipe. Well, only a straight gas pipe through here is what I did. But because gas pipe is about 1/2 inch thick. It's usually cast, yeah, it's just very, very thick wall pipe. So it's virtually indestructible. But anyway, so air in, it was thinner. It was only about, this one's probably 2.5 inches, I think it was. Air in, under the seat of the fire, up the side of the fire, across the top of the fire, and then out. But then what I did was I went, well, if you got 4 on this side, why can't we have 4 on that side? So I put 4 on this side. So you had one going like that, the next one went in, crossed underneath the fire, up the other side, back over here and back out again. Now I put no fire bricks in this thing. I wanted every bit of heat that I could get radiating off that and everything else to heat everything. But then the gas pipes shielded the side. The other problem was that I used 60% less fuel. And so a scale on up to 10's not fair, because not only was this thing so dangerously hot that you had to light a smaller fire, you used, like I said, 60% less fuel for the heat I needed, but the other thing was it pumped so much hot air into the room that you just, it's not on that scale. It's higher than that, because if you pumped it up, no one would be in the house. But that's roughly what it looked like. This is why it got called the V8. So there's your air pipes coming in, up through the stove, or through the fire, across here, over here, and back out over here. The next one's limp back, step back. So it comes in from the bottom on the other side, across to here, up there, and back over, and out there. So you can understand that. Alright. It didn't work. It didn't work for about 3 months. Couldn't work it out, just wouldn't work. Anyway, then one afternoon I did it, and within a very short space of time, the place was so hot you couldn't move. And I went to open a window in a bedroom, and it was already open. And I realised what it was. I was pumping so much hot air into the house. You have to open a window. You have to open a window at the far end of the space. Well, if our space was a bedroom, the bedrooms were hot as well. But you have to open a window with this thing, because it's pumping huge amounts of air into the house. So no cold air is coming in through cracks and crevices and through windows and doors. You open the door to the room on this one, or on the house, when you open the front door, it was just a blast of hot air that rushed out. And that was with a small fire. So think about it. But here's a trick. Takes time, but it worked it out. Okay, you take an old cast iron car exhaust. It's got six manifolds like this, or 4, even a 4-cylinder if you want to try a little one. Get yourself a 4-cylinder, but you've got to get 2 exactly the same. You turn one so the exhaust is facing down, like it would be in a normal car. Turn the other one upside down, bolt them together, and then use them as the grate in your fire. The one facing down takes air from outside, and the one facing up, just put a chimney on it. Guarantee you change your life. Especially if in Canada or somewhere where it's down -30, you want all the heat you can get. And if you like, if you're worried about that air maybe not getting hot enough because it's so cold outside, then this tube here can run along the side of the fire, come in, run along the side of the fire, come back and go into into your thing. I just run over the 10 minutes again. Bye.